Hey everybody, welcome back to your favorite reaction Japan series out there. I'm Papa Tikyo, and where every Friday, 8 a.m. Tokyo time, I give you guys a new reaction video because I live in Japan, I speak Japanese, and if I'm going to watch videos about Japan, I might as well give my 2 cents on the subject too. And today we have a video by this guy called Mask Tuxedo, or Muxedo. It's basically a dyslexic version of Tuxedo Mask, but I don't know if this guy likes Sailor Moon, but yeah, this popped up in my recommended. It says, why Japan is anti-God, a faithless society. I don't know, is this Christian propaganda? Is it Obama? We're gonna find out today. So strap back, relax, and let's get into it, baby. And also, remember, I record these live on my Twitch channel every Sunday, so if you want to be part of the video too, then click on the Twitch channel link down below. And also, I don't teach Japanese. I coach people on how to learn Japanese, and it's on my Patreon. If you guys ever wanted to just not just play around with it, but become fucking actually fluent and move over here and get a job in Japan, then go over to patreon.com/TkyoSam, and, yeah, let's get into it. This is a cool thumbnail.
We've all been through this before. You're playing a JRPG or watching an anime, and it starts
JRPG.
simple enough. Main character starts in a sleepy town with dreams bigger than themselves. They're determined to be a legendary hero like the ones they grew up idolizing. Next thing you know, 12 episodes and 14 hours later, you are quite literally on the precipice of killing God.
Killing God!
And you're just thinking, what the f***? You were stabbing rats for gold in a tavern basement 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now God calls you a bitch and you're off to murk his ass?
God calls you a
How'd get
bitch, you
here?
murk his ass.
And
That's
the
funny.
ironic thing is that this happens a lot in Japanese media.
Oh, it
Like,
does?
the whole trope of killing God has been memed to hell and back. To the
Oh,
point
really?
where a lot of games from Japan are known for this more than anything
Kill
else.
God with the
And while
power of
this trope
friendship.
is mainly known in JRPGs, plenty of anime and manga use this for their own stories. On the lesser end, you have stories of characters fighting vaguely divine beings. On the more extreme end, you have stories where the MC calls God a hoe and is actively trying to disprove him. But the one thing a lot of these stories do share is this almost uncaring attitude of how a god should be portrayed. A lot of Japanese storytellers treat the idea of being divine almost in contempt. And there is a frame of reference for this. In a paper by Joel Mensika, where he talks about the anti-religious nature of games from Japan, he says, quote, Japanese games, on the other hand, freely and frequently make use of religion in critical narratives. Indeed, this rebellion against gods, or God, as the main narrative theme, seems to give reason to assume that JRPGs actually propose god killing, or deicide. That said, though, this is the same genre where there's usually a dating sim on the way to
Excuse
kill
me.
said god. Maybe it's trying to tell us something else. But I find the fact that we've seemingly accepted the god-killing nature of anime and manga very interesting. Because where other storytellers and devs are hesitant to even mention religion, Japan is willing to straight up bulldoze through the topic. You'll go from games like League of
That is pretty funny how it's like in Japan, yeah. I mean, this is why I don't want Japan to change, you know? Like, you guys saw what happened with all that Sweet Baby Inc. stuff, just trying to ruin all these games and make, you know, when you have like 90% dudes playing video games and then you make the chicks all fat and ugly and lesbian looking, nobody wants to see that shit, you know, except a very small minority of players, you know. So, yeah, like being a straight guy kicks ass and seeing titties is awesome. So, it's nice that Japan stays true to form, you know. The concept kind of freaked me out in Breath of Fire 2 and 3. You kill God. I don't know. Are there any other, like PlayStation era ones?
Legends, where the devs are
You
literally
fight
not
God.
allowed to label any of their pseudo-divine characters as gods.
I mean, it's funny how you're not allowed to say people are gods or angels, but then, like, you know, but also you're not allowed to say boy or girl in, like, Pokemon or something anymore. Even though the genders are boy and I'm so happy that Trump's back in office and that shit's changing, because that shit went on way too long. You know, fuck
Out
that.
of fear of getting their game banned.
I had no problem with transgender people until they infected my video games and told me I can't call people boys and girls anymore. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Some regions, to stories like Yojo Senki, where a small anime girl literally tells God to fuck off and continues to live just to spite him. So I want to know, why exactly stories from Japan do this, and why does it always end in the death of a god? And the answer to that is a lot more complicated than you think.
It's a lot more complicated, guys.
God is dead. God remains dead. And we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves?
So if you watch anime for any period of time in your life, you've probably walked away from a show with a basic but skewed understanding of Japanese culture. I mean, I get it. Fan subs convinced me this is how Japanese people actually talk. How could anime lie to me like this? But the one thing you probably noticed in anime is the religion
For
of
real,
Japan.
yeah.
Shintoism. Plenty of anime have scenes where the characters are praying at some kind of shrine either for good luck or blessings. In the same way that there's always gonna be a beach episode, there's always gonna be an
beach
episode
episode
at a Shinto shrine. But what isn't shown is just how diverse the gods Shintoism prays to. Unlike, say, Christianity, Shintoism isn't really that organized. There's no pope-like figure, no holy scripture or strict
That's
catechisms
great.
to adhere
Good.
to. Even the Jinja Honcho, an association of over 800,000 Shinto shrines across all of Japan, mentions that there's like 4 major forms of Shintoic rites with hundreds of subsects and localized beliefs. It's way too much information for me to condense down, honestly. But point is, worship in Shintoism is very localized and very amorphous. Yeah, there's still the big national festivals like Tanabata that celebrate specific deities, but for every one of those, you have smaller local festivals celebrating whatever god or spirit that community believes to exist around them. And when you have a folk religion that believes that the divine can exist anywhere in the natural world, the idea of a god isn't really set in stone. For example, in the anime Noragami, the main character, Yato, is a forgotten god. He has no worshippers to sing him praises, no shrine to call his own. He lives in poverty due to the lack of offerings by said absence of followers. He's irresponsible, he's gullible, and he suffers from his own set of personal insecurities. He doesn't really cut the image of a divine being that's supposed to be above it all. As renowned Japanese author Takeshi Matsumae said, quote, "The gulf..."
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like in Japan, like they say God is in everything. Like God is in this water, in this craft boss tea lemonade bottle. Like they say God is in everything, and so unlike like Christianity or like Islam or something, or in Judaism where they're like God is all divine and there's only one, but in Shinto they're like, God's in everything. It's cool.
Between divinity and humanity found in the Judaic religions doesn't exist in Shintoism. Even though the Shinto kami, or gods, are given credit for creating various parts of the universe, kami are neither omniscient or omnipotent, and are not necessarily immortal. Divinity isn't some all-powerful juju that needs to be worshipped in Shintoism, but rather it's something that exists all around you that needs effort to be preserved.
Yep.
Which is why so many Shinto shrines exist near natural phenomena, like waterfalls, or even just stones by the ocean. Divinity in Shintoism is the natural world, and if the natural world isn't maintained, then divinity too can die. And when the idea of a spirit or a god can die just as easily, the idea of god killing doesn't really become that controversial. Which is why anime and manga can easily portray gods as divine or as weak as they need to. Now, this isn't to say that this is the only reason why Japan loves murking God. From what I found, Shintoism nowadays is more of a cultural rather than a religious thing, with many people saying that they leave offerings at temples because, well, that's what they've been told to do as kids, and it's just a background thing that they do in their life. But this cultural identity that's separate from their religious one plays a big part on why
shit, I
Japan
didn't do
loves
Hatsumoto
killing
this
God.
year. Damn it.
And to explain it, I'm gonna have to dox myself.
Welcome to the rice fields,
Motherfucker.
So from the way my
Yeah,
voice
that's
sounds,
right.
you can tell that I'm a rootin' tootin', freedom loving, gun totin', Ford F-150 driving, oil loving,
Yeah.
liberty
Yeah.
having, eagle
Yeah.
screeching,
Yes.
Malaysian. I am
What?
Malaysian.
What is this, Ian Miles Chung? What? You poser! How dare you?
In Malaysia, it's this country right here, just in case you fail geography class. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because religious and cultural identity
Why
is
is
a
his
very
English
big
accent
thing
very
in
American?
Asian society. For example, even though Shintoism is the indigenous folk religion of Japan, with even 70% of Japan
Do people in like in Malaysia, do they talk like in this accent? I don't know if I've met many Malaysians.
Japan's total population does identify as Shinto. In the same survey, they found that 78% identify as not really religiously devout, while 69% of the population identify as belonging to no religion. Shintoism is a religion in Japan, but it's not the religion in Japan. Compare this to my home country of Malaysia. Islam is the national religion of the country. It's quite literally written into our constitution. The Malay identity is so intrinsically tied to the Islamic identity. The idea of being a good Malay man just means that you're a good Muslim dude. As long as you keep up with your 5 prayers, fast in the designated months, and pay your alms on time, Malay society will consider you a good person. And this association of Malay culture with that of the Muslim identity is so inseparable nowadays that suggesting a Malay can be anything other than a Muslim will land you in serious trouble.
Islam, what is it? Islam, the religion of peace, as long as you're not like a woman or you're gay or you're not Islamic. Yeah, dude, we saw how good Islam did for all those people coming into Europe, and now all the fucking mayors in the UK and governors are fucking Muslim. Hell, isn't the prime minister, like, not prime minister, but the guy before him, Muslim or something? It's a shit religion in my opinion, and it's the worst one out of all of them. You know, I mean, aside from like Scientology or something, like fuck, dude, ugh. I never met a Malaysian, but gamed with some. They're super cool. Nice.
In depth here, obviously, but just know that religious identity is a very hot button issue in Malaysia. But in Japan, there's no such constraint. There's actually a local cultural saying about Japanese religious identity. As mentioned in Robert Casala's book, Nanzan's Guide to Japanese Religion, he mentions that, quote, "It has become commonplace to say that the Japanese are born Shinto, marry as a Christian, and die as a Buddhist." What this means is that, on average, a normal Japanese person will experience some kind of ritual from these 3 religions at least once in their life.
Yep.
Being religiously exclusive is very rare in Japan. It's actually more common to pick and choose aspects of other faiths that you're into. For example, in a paper by Jesse Lefebvre, who the fuck puts a V in front of?
I hate it when people do this stupid quote in their fucking video essays where they pretend like they don't know how to pronounce the name. It's not funny. You're ruining the fucking pacing of the video. Just stop.
A B in their name. In a paper by Jessie R., she says that in the mid-1990s, the number of Christian-style weddings, ceremonies that take place in chapels or churches with fully ordained priests, actually surpass the number of Shinto weddings. And
well, you don't understand is that they do both. They do both. They do one day where it's the Christian church, and then the other day when they do the Japanese one. Like, that's more common now. But I guess this guy doesn't live in Japan, so he doesn't know that. But, yeah, like, even Ryan Boundless, best YouTuber who hates weeboos, Ryan Boundless, he was a priest, or, like, a quote-unquote priest for weddings for, like, over 10 years or something in Japan. He made a lot of extra money that way.
And have increasingly become the wedding style of choice for many non-religious couples in the greater Tokyo area. And this is mainly down to vibes. Just like in my Europe and anime video, check it out if you haven't already. Whatever the Japanese saw in popular foreign culture that they thought looked good, they wanted to imitate. Now, this video
cultural
is about
assimilation.
killing God
Hell yeah.
and not niche wedding trends, so let me put things back on track. This religious flexibility is a huge reason as to why Japanese storytellers don't seem to mind the concept of deicide. Being non-religious in Japan doesn't mean that you hate religion. It just means that you're not particularly attached to any which one. In the same paper that I mentioned, it says, quote, "Non-religion is not the rejection of faith, but rather the vicarious and affectionate way a Japanese person engages with it." Japanese storytellers aren't trying to offend
Zelda
other people when they
Nintendo
kill
remix.
God, capital G or otherwise, but rather they just see it as a way to tell cool stories and explore narratives they couldn't before. You want to see Adam from Christian lore beat the shit out of Zeus? Hell yeah, but the anime looks like shit though. You want to see militarized
big
lesbians
earthquake.
fight a god who's trying to wipe out the earth and start anew? Oddly specific, but here you go. Or you want an anime where capital G God is actually a Japanese high school girl whose every whims and wishes needs to be met, or she will literally wipe everything from—
Okay, hold on. Earthquake happening right now. Just wait for it. This is what happens when you're in like a high... I'm not a high-rise apartment, but I am high, so... damn it. Okay, is it over? Okay, good. Amen. That's right, Theodore.
from existence for being too boring. Please tell me Haruhi references are still timely in 2025. I'm 26 this year. I don't want to feel older than I already am.
Haruhi!
Now, I'm not here to tell you how to feel about this trope. I'm just here to explore. Religion is a complex topic, and humans are even more complex creatures. Our relationship with the divine is simultaneously beautiful, infuriating, and amazingly complex. And it was really interesting seeing how exactly anime chooses to portray the divine. One minute, God is a literal plot device, the other minute, he is a jaded retiree, and in the other, he is a literal concept. Different portrayals, yet all the same fate. But in that as well, it's all the same message. By killing God, we kill the most holiest and mightiest thing the world yet owned. To fight God is to fight the universe itself. But after reading way too many papers related to theology for this video, I'd say fighting God is the most human thing you can do. It's common for us humans to let the universe take its course and wash over us. But the bravest thing you can do is to defy fate. That when the universe tells you to bow, break, and bend, you look straight into that void and say, no, I will not bow, I will not break, I will not bend. And that's what this trope is. Not stories of God killing for the sake of it, but tales of humans taking hold of their fate, challenging their destiny, refusing to bow when broken. To fight God is foolish. To fight God is insanity. To fight God is to fight fate itself. But to fight God is to be human, to challenge one's fate, and to be the change one wants to see in the world. To fight God is not the rejection of faith, but the acceptance of being human.
To fight God isn't to change fate. It's just the acceptance of being human. That's right. It's a great way to end. Okay, yeah, that was an interesting video, for sure. This is definitely, it seems like this guy does a lot of, like, educational purpose videos about Japan. The problem with watching modern anime, I wonder if it's, I wonder what the video's about. I wonder if he's talking, is he complaining about them sexualizing high schoolers like they've always done in anime, and how he feels like they need to change that? Because that's an anime trope, and even though I'm not in high school anymore, I know there's probably high schoolers watching this, and they love popping boners to this shit. You don't want to take that away from them, do you? Do you? But anyway, yeah, got a little bit political here with my messaging for other things, certain religions. But yeah, what did you guys think about this anime or this video? When it comes to God killing, I just think of like Final Fantasy. Or like Death Note. Like in Death Note, he gets that god to basically suicide itself to protect that girl, Misa or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like that was an interesting anime topic, but I'll probably forget this in T- whatever. But yeah. Anyway, with that being said, here, let me check the chat. There's nothing about Malaysia. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway, yeah, guys, thanks always for watching. If you made it this far, smash the like button. Secret comment of the day is God kicks ass. I don't know. Write that down. God kicks ass to let me know you got this far in the video. And I put all these videos into a playlist that you can go binge at the end of this. And, yeah, that'll be the top comment of this video. And like always, the original video link is in the video description. So go check this guy out. Give him a sub. And, yeah, like always, thanks for watching, guys. You stay black. Otsukaresama deshita. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, buddy.
It's time you bit the bullet and started caring about something with all your heart and energy. But you can't care about it if you're always holding yourself back in case it doesn't work out.
Yeah, why y'all put cheese on my cheeseburger?
I'm sorry, what?
Shut your bitch ass